Thank you for volunteering your time to help out entrepreneurs here in San Diego with their tax questions. So you are a CPA. Tell us a
Yes,
little bit about your background, and then we'll get into the types of things you can answer during your guru hours.
I'm a CPA, an enrolled agent, and a chartered accountant from India. I have more than a decade of experience in the field of accounting and taxation. I help businesses with choosing right type of business entity, tax preparation, tax planning, um, you know, and setting up the chart of accounts. And if there's a need of consultation, I'll also consult with them on various tax related issues.
You know, you talked about chart of accounts. That's kind of step one, right? It's like,
Yes,
tell me how am I going to categorize things, right? And a lot of accounting and as well filing your taxes, which is kind of two different things, right?
yes,
But one leads to the other, of course. Is getting set up correctly from the get-go, like you said, getting the right entity, choosing the
right.
right entity. We get all kinds of questions around that as sole prop, LLC, partnership, C corp, S corp, on and on, right?
Yes.
So choosing the right entity, and then also getting things set up correctly from the get-go. And what I'm hearing you say is you can help with that initial setup, and you're also then able to help on the other side, which is, okay, now I've got my year, I've closed my books, and I need to tell both the state and federal government what's
Yeah,
going on here, right?
sure. Yeah.
Do you have on your team somebody who does kind of that month to month bookkeeping as well, as the beginning and the end process? Or do you bring in other partners to then help your clients with just kind of the regular monthly, income,
Right.
expenditures, categorization, etc.?
So I'm going to answer one by one. So one is, choosing the right type of business entity, right? That's the most important thing, for any business entity going forward to uh, avoid tax related issues. If you're planning to sell the business later, you need to know what you're entering into. So first thing people should know, there's a difference between a tax, entity from tax point of view and entity from legal point of view. You should always consult both, like an attorney as well as a CPA, before you choose a business entity. Um, Regarding setting up chart of accounts, so there are assets, liabilities, expenses, and income categories. If you don't set up them correctly at the end of the year, it will be very difficult for your accountant or for you to to find the correct expense categories, and it will be a lot more work. You might have to extend your taxes at that time. So instead of that, starting correctly is the most important thing.
Do you refer bookkeeping, like kind of regular monthly maintenance bookkeeping, to partners, or is that something your company does?
So I most of the time, I uh, like the tax related, tax preparation and tax planning, I kind of do myself. But for
Sure.
bookkeeping, I outsource some of the
Yep.
work, like very
Yep.
simple work. I
Yep.
would outsource, but at the end, I'll still, review the work.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the biggest, again, the biggest question I get from entrepreneurs and confusion is, they'll say something like, I need help with my numbers. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean you need help with getting things
Yeah,
set up? Does that mean
yeah,
you need help with bookkeeping? Does that mean you need a higher level accountant to really understand the whole picture, versus just the mechanics of putting things in the right categories every month? Or do you need somebody, and I, not that they're levels, but I'm gonna try, or do you need somebody that's a CPA, or you're also an enrolled agent who can then look at the big picture and help you with tax planning and filing those taxes. I mean, it's complicated, right? There's a lot of layers in between, and a lot of people don't even know what to ask for, which is understandable.
Yeah, it is, it is kind of confusing for new entrepreneurs to understand each and everything. And I believe that's what my guru hours are for, just to help them with simple questions like, okay, initially there's so much confusion going on. You're already setting up your business, you're marketing, you're like doing everything. And on top of that, to have task related questions and, the gurus can answer those type of simple questions, I feel.
Yeah. Simple for you, but not for them. Usually it's the way it feels. So talk a little bit about, there's been so many, right now, especially with COVID, I mean, so many questions, so many changes, and the whole PPP thing. I'm sure you're spending a lot of time with clients helping them sort that out. Initially how to even get the right number to apply for, and okay, now I have money, what do I do with it? How do I make sure it's forgiven? So the world of finance and taxes and accounting is always exciting and changing.
It's always evolving, always exciting. I think it's never ending. Like right in this scenario, I have to like learn everything every day just to answer my client questions. And we have IRS guidelines which are changing every day almost, what I mean. So it's constantly going back and forth with the client, answering their questions. And with the newly enacted CARES Act, to extending the due date of taxes, payroll tax credit, retirement money withdrawal, so many things too. I think, they come up every day.
Yeah, gosh, I can't even imagine. You must be busy. So in the meantime, I know you're doing guru hours virtually, so folks can reach out. That information is on the guru page, which we'll make sure is linked here in the video and vice versa. And then when hopefully someday in the not too distant future, we get to come back and in real life, won't that be amazing? Then folks can visit you at Hera Hub Sorrento Valley, and then book some time with you to meet face to face. Someday we'll get there.
Yes, we'll get there. I hope soon.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you again for donating your time to the community, giving back, and helping entrepreneurs answer the questions related to everything tax related. So
thank you so much, Felina, again.
Awesome. See you soon.